Now look, I don't know all the drill scene rappers by heart, but I do hear stuff, right? So Lil Durk,
I read that story earlier.
crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I mean, make no sense.
arrested for murder for hire. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this real quick because I just started getting up on this today. I think it just happened today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play this real quick, man, and then we'll talk about it. I mean, I don't understand. People have money and the brains,
They got money but
the,
no brains.
no
That.
brains.
Yep.
A lot of dollars and no
Yep.
sense.
Good
Yep.
Lord, like yo, you just
None at all.
at a certain point you gotta say, man,
You're not even that big that you that you can get away with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, you know what? Look, he's you big enough where he's big enough where he won't get away with it because you known.
You are
So
Yeah,
known.
he's too big to be playing
Rival
in
rapper
that
in a
field right
murder
now.
for hire
Yeah.
scheme in Los Angeles. He has been arrested. As Eyewitness News reporter Annabelle Munoz found out, federal officials say it was a family member of the intended target who ended up being killed by hitmen.
They be trying to keep me down.
He's 32, a successful rapper, and a Grammy Award winner. Federal authorities say Lil Durk is also behind an alleged murder for hire plot.
It is a very violent crime. You're talking about someone losing their life and perhaps another individual was the target.
Chicago rapper Dirk Banks was arrested near Miami International Airport Thursday night.
Anything you want to say about your son?
His family seen leaving his first court appearance today. A federal complaint says Banks put a bounty on a rival rapper in response to the killing of a close friend in 2020. Roughly 2 years later, this deadly shooting unfolded at a gas station near the Beverly Center in August of 2022. Investigators named several defendants and alleged co-conspirators they say stalked and attempted to murder the rival rapper, and instead ended up killing a relative who was with the target at the time. The indictment says this is a photo of the three individuals who fired gunshots at the busy intersection.
What they have shared so far is a tremendous amount of information, especially as it comes to the planning involved in this alleged hit for hire. Weapons were supplied, ski masks were supplied. Those weapons were modified to make at least one of them an automatic weapon.
Authorities say Banks flew into Los Angeles the day before the killing by private plane. They also allege the purchase of flights from Chicago to SoCal and a hotel reservation for the alleged co-conspirators was from accounts linked to Banks and his music collective OTF. Adding that around that time, iCloud records show that a phone number associated with Banks texted an alleged co-conspirator, quote, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." According to the indictment, Banks had made clear in, quote, coded language that he'd pay a bounty for the murder. Authorities arrested 5 defendants in Chicago Thursday morning and say the FBI learned Banks was booked on 3 international flights before his arrest. If convicted, Banks and the other defendants face a maximum sentence of life in federal prison.
so stupid.
I mean,
Stupid.
come on now.
That's the only thing I can say. When I read that story, I'm like, y'all stupid as hell. You
And
gonna risk your
you're
whole
paying for
career.
your record company's accounts too. That I
No
can't.
brains at all.
I just cannot. None.
I'm trying to put together the words, man. I don't understand. Like people, you
Mm.
you work so hard to get to that point. You know what
And
I'm
throw
saying?
it all
To where
away.
you can get your music out.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
play both games, right?
No.
You gotta you're gonna have to make a choice. And the thing about
Mm.
Dirk and them, and a lot of these, especially here in Chicago, like a lot of these drill rappers, they really want, even the bigger ones. They still want to play both sides. They want to play. They still want to
Yeah.
play in the streets, and they
Mm-hmm.
still want to do the music shit. And at some point, you gotta let the street shit go if you really want to, because that's all that was. That's Dirk slide for Vaughn. Like
That's game banging.
Yeah.
Game banging
that's
101.
what that was. The crazy part is they said his boy had a wire on for years around him, so they got all this like evidence that his man got for him because he was walking around with a wire on, and so it's a lot to that. So
Yeah,
it's a
the
lot
feds.
to that.
Once the
The more
feds,
careful
you know,
you
it's
gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
well, and the feds are, and this is a federal thing, so You know, like you said, they've been doing their homework. They got a really serious case, and you know, you got to just say to yourself, you're that big. You know, it's still a couple of things. One, you're that big. Two, the technology is so crazy that yes, your homie might be wearing a wire. There may be a wire everywhere that you go in the studio,
Yeah.
wherever. It's just too
Yep.
easy now. You know,
It's a couple things to that. One, it's a whole lot easier to get away with that kind of shit when you're doing it within the confines of your own city. But when you start moving around the country, you putting yourself in a bad position. Secondly, I would not be surprised if this gets to become one of those situations where lyrics from songs become used in the conviction process. Because there's one of them dudes that
yeah,
what you're saying can tie into some shit that's happened. You know what I mean?
right,
So
Yeah.
right.
do not be surprised. And I wouldn't even be shocked. I wouldn't even be upset because listen,
Yep.
you just
Just
Yeah,
stupid.
no, you said it.
you
You
know what
can't,
I'm saying?
you
Like
can't do this. You can't do the streets,
Yeah.
and you know, I think like we talked about this before. Like, Chicago, they just keep it too real, man. Chicago, they just keep it way too real, and everybody was so enamored by this whole drill scene when Chicago, you know, when Chief Keef and them kind of started it, and kind of, you know, all the sons that came up under that, everybody just started to feel like, yo, we can just do this stuff on record and go out here and move around, and
right.
you know, that gave birth to all the other ones and the Takashi 6 9s and all this stuff that were just running around doing stuff like, bro, you're on camera everywhere, and you got mad people around you that's criminals.
Yep.
It's just a matter of time. I don't understand it, man.
And the thing about it
Yeah.
is that
Oh.
people are going to always cover their own ass.
For
So
sure.
there's no loyalty. People are gonna, if people are facing a lifetime in prison, they will throw your ass under the bus in front of the train in a hot
Yeah.
second. And the thing is that people are smart enough now, and I use the word smart enough loosely, that in the very least they'll start recording everything. So just in case
Right.
some shit goes down,
Yep.
either I can use this as leverage or you're coming down with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're saying
Yeah.
there's a
I
different kind
mean,
of snitch. It's a different kind of snitch
Yeah.
now.
Right.
everybody. See, the thing is that when you're dealing with a criminal element, there's no loyalty there. There's no,
Right.
everybody's out for themselves. And if I don't know, in this case, it sounded as though they got the shooters.
Yeah,
Am I
I mean, I
correct?
believe the shooters are the ones who told they're the ones who kind of giving up the goose on them.
Exactly,
Oh,
and that is my
yeah,
point.
yeah,
You don't even need half of the wire stuff. If you once you've got the shooters and you can make like a case that there's no link between the shooters and the victim, and you can link the shooters to this person to the victim, you don't even need everything else. That's plenty right there for
Well,
the
no,
government to put you away.
that's what you're describing is the state. The feds say we're gonna do that, and we're gonna have 3 other pieces. So you're really not gonna
Oh
get
yeah,
out of
Because
but
it.
I'm
that wire
saying
stuff is the link. The wire
absolutely.
stuff that is them tying everything together.
Crazy.
And that's
That's why they put a wire on somebody close to Dirk so they can get that information.
And they were saying about the guy that they put the wire on that I believe he was locked up for some time and he got out and Dirk helped him and all kinds of stuff. It's just like you said, y'all got no loyalty at all.
None.
I mean, that's just crazy.
If I'm facing a lifetime in prison, it's like, am I gonna go do this time
Yeah,
in
well,
prison, or
I mean,
am I gonna snitch on you? I mean,
I once heard a rapper say, "We never talk about all the foul shit we did, or we saw police be getting y'all." Remember? I don't know if you remember that line. Somebody said that, and that's kind of what's happening right now.
that's your
Like, people
that's
talk
yours
too much
truly.
in rap.
That is a line that I wrote. You're absolutely right. And that was
Like
a
that's
long
where we
time
are
ago.
now. People talking especially in their songs. On these podcasts and interviews,
Yeah.
they'll go on and they'll say a little bit too much information, but you
Mhm.
leave in a digital trail of everything that all your little incidents and moments that
Yeah.
you did. You put it all out there, and it's very easy to find this stuff.